You might think you know everything there is to know about me, but really, you're not even close.
Okay, so here's a battle against DustoXking from YouTube, who challenged me to a match, and this was a really epic match. I mean, my heart was pounding by the end of it, but I played like a complete douchebag in the beginning, and yeah, I thought, oh my gosh, what the hell is gonna happen? But will I be enough that I actually make a comeback and recover? You gotta stay tuned and find out, people. But yeah, I was just using whatever random team I had in my party, and I was like, okay, let's just use this and see how it goes. So I lead off with Ricky the Sandslash while he leads off with a Lantern, and as soon as I saw the Lantern, I was like, oh god, because I knew that half my team is weak to Lantern, and so I didn't want to over-predict here, so I'm going to switch out Ricky and go to Rayan the Vaporeon, who takes the Surf with Water Absorb. And at this point, he starts stockpiling, so I'm like, okay, that is not good. Definitely not good for me. And I expected that maybe he wouldn't expect me to stay in, so I set up a little beanie bag to protect me. And at that point where I used Shadow Ball, I was like, oh, I should have used Baton Pass and passed the sub to Ricky, who would then be able to, use Earthquake without no problems without being a hit. But unfortunately, my prediction went down the drain a bit, and I ended up Baton Passing nothing. So instead of going to Ricky, I decided to go into lickilicki, and I'm going to start brick breaking that freaking Lantern like a maniac. Brick break, and that's all I'm going to do right now. With the stockpile, I was actually pretty impressed that it did half the damage, but his Thunderbolt did a large chunk, and I was like, oh my god, no, are you kidding me? So I go for another brick break, hitting it on the head, and it doesn't quite take it out, and he keeps stockpiling. This is bad. This is really bad. I mean, who leads off with a Lantern that's a wall? So I just keep brick breaking, but unfortunately, lickilicki is not going to be able to finish the job as he goes down to a Surf. So holy crap, that really sucked. So now I was thinking, okay, who to switch into to take out this Lantern that's giving me such a huge problem? So I decided to risk it and go into Talina, and I figured maybe an X-Scissor would be able to take it out, considering how much health the Lantern had. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It survived with like some minuscule amount of HP, so it decides to mock me, and it uses Surf, which luckily for me doesn't KO Talina, and she's able to take out the Lantern with an X-Scissor. Should have used a Thunderbolt, as that would have been super effective, but hey, I'm not complaining at this point. So now out comes Togekiss, and this is something I was really scared about. I didn't want to over-predict again, so I just wanted to be safe, but unfortunately the opponent predicts my switch really well and goes for a Nasty Plot instead. So this is just even more worse. And I go into Rayan because she's like my special wall type of thing, and I didn't know how well she would be able to take an Air Slash. Boosted Air Slash does a ton of damage, and I get the flinch, which really sucks. But in a way, I guess I don't think it's that bad, because I can't really do anything to Togekiss anyway. And unfortunately, Rayan goes down. So that is definitely not good, as Rayan is a big part of this team, I thought. So I go into Braveheart, who's all brave, charging into battle, and I hoped it would be enough to scare away the Togekiss, which it does. I go for a Thunderbolt. Again, I didn't want to over-predict, but he goes into a Camerupt, which obviously is not affected by the Thunderbolt being a part ground type. So at this point, I tried to go for Hidden Power, see how much it would do. Unfortunately, it did crap, and I was like, oh god, you gotta be freaking kidding me. So he probably expected me to switch and goes for the Stealth Rock, but thank god he didn't use like Earthquake or whatever. So I go into Ricky now expecting some type of physical attack, but unfortunately for me he uses Lava Plume, which is a special attack, and Ricky's special defense isn't too good, and I get burned, which also equally sucks, as he goes for Protect, which makes me get more burn. And I stupidly enough go for Earthquake, even though the Togekiss was there. I knew the Togekiss was there. I shouldn't have gone for Earthquake. That was a real douchebag move of me, but thankfully I predicted well here. Another Nasty Plot, and I'm able to set up a Stealth Rock, which you'll see will help me a teeny tiny bit later in the game. But unfortunately, Ricky didn't get to do much, which really made me upset. So So I go into Braveheart again, trying to scare away the Togekiss. I didn't know if he was going to stay in or not, but again, I don't want to over-predict, especially when he has a nasty plot set up. So he does switch into Camerupt, again, who can't take the, who resists, well, not resist, who's immune to the Thunderbolt, and I know Hidden Power is not going to be able to KO that thing. So I go into Talina just for death fodder to safely switch in Alakazam. As he goes for a Rock Slide. So now, Alakazam comes out, and I'm like, okay, now it's time for the big guns, baby. I have to try and recover from this. So I know I'm obviously faster. I'm just hoping a Psychic will be able to take it out, and it does. Bada bing, bada boom. Psychic takes out that camera up, so thank God for that. The power of the Psychic Spoons prevails, baby. And now he goes into lickilicki, who's like licky, and I'm like, oh god, that thing looks ugly. So I just have to set up a Reflect here, expecting some kind of stupid thing like Body Slam, maybe, I don't know. I just want to set up some team support for whatever reason. But he decides to Toxic, and because of Synchronize, he'll get regular poison, and I expected him to Protect here. An epic prediction. I set up a Calm Mind, so now Alakazam's power is boosted, and he's like a Super Saiyan God now. And hopefully, boosted Psychic should be able to KO out the Lickilicki, and it does, but I got it crit. I don't know if the crit would have really mattered in this case. I'm really not sure, but because boosted Psychic would have been strong enough, I think. But anyway, I go for now he sends out Goryabus, and I'm just going to go for the Psychic, and it takes out the Goryabus, and I get another critical hit, which was just wow. Okay, I'm not sure if the critical hit mattered or not, because I'm not too familiar with Goryabus' special defense, so I'll let you be the judge of that. Now Togekiss comes in, I go for a Psychic, and it's enough to take it out. And I was like, oh wow, and I was able to do a lot of damage to his team before Alakazam goes down to Poison. So now we're at our last Pokemon. I switch in Braveheart. He switches in his Froslass, and I was like, oh crap, please let me be able to survive and be able to take his last Pokemon out, and thankfully I'm faster. So I go for the Overheat, and boom, barbecue that Froslass into like melted water or whatever. So wow, what a freaking epic battle. That was just too amazing. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it.